Hello everyone, today is July 17th, 2023. We're going to go over our year-end performance review on the truck line, on logistics, and talk a little bit about ProFleet CDL Driving Academy that we started. So with that being said, Rob, you got the floor.
All right, our asset-based logistics company, here's our 2023 performance. Just a tremendous year. We have huge appreciation for all of you and the work that you've put in to deliver a record-setting operating ratio for the company at 92.3. So really proud of what everyone's been able to do here. Excellent performance from the logistics team, from our truck line, from everybody that's chipping in the shop, in the back office, just everyone put together and contributed to this. It's really amazing. Along the way, we've got logistics on a tremendous growth path over the last 3 years, which is exciting as can be. And just a record year all around now, right?
Very good.
That has led to a pretty strong balance sheet. I talk about our balance sheet in front of you guys, or some people call it our financial position. The overall health of the company, we have a lot more. If you think about your household, if you're lucky enough to own a home, you can relate to the more you have paid off on that home, or if you have a paid off house, that gives you a lot of security. Well, the same thing for us as a company. The more equipment that we have that's paid off is a sign of our health, and we've been adding to that. We added 76 pretty late model here, refrigerated and dry trailers to the owned column, which is a big deal. We have a newer fleet. We've been investing despite the challenges of getting equipment over the last couple of years. We've continued to invest in our fleet of trailers as well as tractors. Tangible net worth. This is a kind of a complicated calculation that bankers pay a lot of attention to. It's up 31% for us, and that's really good news. On the banking front also, we recently, Brianda Ziegler helped with Bank of America. That's one of the biggest banks in the country. We just started an equipment line with them, and we're looking for them to finance more equipment for us. So the reason we bring up some of these things is when banks come and are looking for you as a customer, that's a sign to all of you of the health that Hill Brothers has when well-named banks like this are looking to do business with us. So that's a sign of the kind of financial position that we've been able to put together as a company.
Yeah, the banking is very huge, so our credit is extremely good, and that's why bankers are trying to fight to get our business. So that's a damn good sign.
Good.
The next slide, we show a $130 million challenge. This was kind of an internal challenge. We
A year ago at the all-employee meeting, we said, hey, we can do this.
We got pretty damn close. So we're very proud of everyone involved. Logistics, truck line, all the people involved in getting us to 123.1 million. We're just shy a little bit of the $130 million challenge. But I tell you what, guys, that's so impressive, and I'm so proud of everyone. So with that being said, we're going to give out gift cards for everyone by the end of July as a thank you and a small token of our appreciation. And so be on the lookout for that, and I'll let you know later. As far as the market conditions, so the people that in sales and in operations, they're all seeing freight rates pretty much have peaked out and have actually slipped a little bit. We want to make sure everybody understands how proud we are. We're fighting through it. But the market is the market. So when there's more trucks chasing fewer loads, that has a tendency to drop rates. So we're seeing a little bit of deterioration in the market. So with that being said, people are looking at us to be on time, and they judge us by our on-time percentages. So for all you contractors, drivers, all the logistics drivers, all you guys have got to be on time because we are judged very heavily these days. The freight mix is changing. We are going to work hard to keep the freight moving. And one of the reasons we repositioned so many people for our on-time performance, you've seen our dead edge shoot up a few points. Don't be alarmed on that. That's just repositioning empty guys to covered loads that we've committed to. And there'll be more information coming on that.
And I will say that freight mix changing, that can impact some of you as drivers. I know I've communicated to a number of you that we're having struggles finding freight, and we don't always get the same freight offered to us that we have 6 months or a year ago. So we're finding freight for drivers to do. It may be a little different than what you've done before. So we really appreciate you stepping up and taking that so that we can keep our wheels moving. But more on the current state of the market. FTR and ACT Research are a couple of research arms that they study the freight industry, and they have for a number of years. And they try to be up on it. They study a lot of the data. We listen to them, and they basically, well, this trucking conditions index we've spoken of several times. We usually hit on it whenever we get together, where they're saying the kind of trucking index is. If you're below this zero line, that means it's going to be challenging for you if you're a carrier of freight. Well, as you can see, it's been that way for over a year now. So we've been operating in this. That's some of the things that Al was saying. We persevered through that. It looks like we're probably going to have to persevere through it for the coming future. We don't know exactly how long, but it's definitely going to be a big factor here in our 2024 financial plans. It has been. So we ask all of you, this is the market that we're in. We can't control a lot of that, but we definitely want to keep doing the things and executing the things every day to take care of our customers and keep our freight and our wheels moving. So,
And speaking of markets, I'm going to introduce you to Jesse Boyer, our VP of Logistics. He's going to talk a little bit about what's going on in the logistics world and our growth. So with that said, Jesse, she's all yours.
Thanks, Al. Hey, Hill Brothers. I guess we've never heard that a good leadership team has okay people. So when we break records, we as a leadership team just want to commend and say thank you. It all starts and begins with you guys. So we as a leadership team here at Hill Brothers are extremely thankful for the commitment, not only for what you do for our customers, what you do for each other, and what you do for our outside carriers. So thank you very much for that. It means a lot to us here at the leadership team. And with that, we'll jump into logistics. So our core Omaha book of business had a record-setting year for the third year in a row. At some point in time, it's less about setting records, it's more about an expectation here that we create here at Hill Brothers Logistics, as my people will well know. It's all about living up to the Hill Brothers standard, and I'm confident we have the right people in the right seats to deliver yet again in this challenging market. Through our off the back, the Hill Brothers brand started with the truck line, and the door was kicked in with our logistics company. With that growth, we've been able to start a secondary office down in Lincoln, Nebraska, headed by Tyler Schoberg, that specializes specifically in bulk commodities. So just think about it, anything that doesn't ride in a bag, on a pallet, gets dumped into the back of a hopper trailer, that's everything that our Lincoln office will be responsible for. I just wanted to point out, when I came to Rob and Al and ownership about this next opportunity, they all came to me and said, well, Jesse, who's going to run it? And we all came back in unison that we had to have the right person in the right seat. And we feel very confident we have delivered that with Tyler Schoberg, who is our Director of Bulk Operations. We started and opened our doors mid-April. Tyler has amassed and recruited a very talented team of individuals that will very shortly not only meet but exceed the standards and goals that we've set for him and his team here at Hill Brothers and Hill Brothers Logistics. I just kind of want to dovetail off what Rob was saying. Those headwinds of challenges are coming into the logistics market as well. Over the last 3 years in the pandemic, it was all, just win the freight. Well, now that we get further away from the pandemic and more in the post-transportation pandemic cycle, I like to call it, it's more about just winning freight, right? We've got to deliver. We've got to find affordable carriers that make sense for us, that are going to be an extension of us when they're in and out of our shippers and our receivers, and we feel confident that we're doing that. But like Al said, too, it all begins and stops with service, right? So we need to make these drivers out there that are an extension of us really care the way that we do about our customers here at Hill Brothers and just keep performing. And the way that we do that is treating them with respect and keeping an open line of communication and setting the expectations from the time they pick up to the time they deliver. And then lastly, as Rob and Al said, it is a challenging market, right? It's a transportation market. You really have to love what you do to be successful in this business. And I'm confident what I've seen in the last 4 years that we've got the talent in place to not only meet but exceed our next fiscal year goals. So I just want to say thank you from a grateful Hill Brothers employee myself for everything that you guys do, and let's keep it moving. Thank you, Rob. Thanks, Al.
Jesse, thank you so much.
Yep.
Rob, keep it rolling.
all right, on the truck line, we grew by 31 drivers, which is a big testament to everybody involved in this, from the people that that find the driver, that recruit them, that take care of all of our existing drivers, everybody that's involved in that, the shop. We've had a lot of challenges finding equipment, finding trucks in order to grow by 31 drivers. It's been a challenge, but we've met it. And that this is to everybody in the organization. It's a big effort to grow considerably, like adding 30 drivers. That's driven our revenues up 16%. We have a drayage division that we're very proud of, and it's terrific to see that grow by 75% here in the last year. So we think there's actually more growth available there. So we're working on that right now. So that's been tremendous to see. We've got fuel economy that's helping to drive some of these results from some of this new equipment, these new tractors that we're bringing in. While we grow this top line, a lot of technology solutions are being brought in from our CFO, from Brianna Ziegler, Michael Johnson, and in the technology team, along with all the leaders in all these departments, looking for ways to be just a little bit more efficient. So as we kind of control some of those costs and we can continue to grow the top line, it's got some good results for us as an entire company, really, Al, not just for the truck line.
Right.
So
I'm going to touch briefly on ProFleet CDL Driving Academy. This is a school we started last year, mainly because of the local driving schools were not giving us the students we needed and the growth we needed. So we decided to take matters into our own hands and started with our own school. So with Roger Murphy and his team, we've grown that student enrollment pretty tremendously, as it is on the slide. We've had almost 100 students enrolled since we opened, and the graduation percentage has just been phenomenal, as you see on the slide. We're getting grants from Iowa and Nebraska on the WIOLA program. Our reputation is spreading very good. I've gotten a lot of compliments from students and people outside the industry wanting to know about ProFleet, and more people are asking us about it. The revenue is generated is almost $500,000. It's still very tight margins on making any money in the school, but that wasn't our main intent. Our main intent was really to grow the school with our own students. So that's plan is still in place. We do compete with some local schools here in town, but we got the fire going under their feet a little bit. So I think we're going to be doing better than they are. So we're very excited about that. But the biggest thing I'm so proud of is our standards. We have very high standards. We don't cut corners. These instructors and Roger and his whole team have been very, very clear on no cutting corners, on training these students, and we're very, very proud of that. So with that said, thank you, Roger, and the ProFleet CDL team.
yeah, definitely. Off to a good start. The move to our new office space at M Circle has been underway for quite some time. There's a lot of construction going on right now with a target date to be done by July 24th. I was just there this morning. It looks like that date is on track. There may be a few things that wander beyond that, but there are things that we can still handle within the move schedule that we have to get everyone that's moving from this building over there by August 21st is the timeline that we have, that we feel confident about. I do want to talk a little bit about as that transition happens, for the drivers and all the ones that work here on the yard, there are a lot of things that are going to stay here on the yard. Our city dispatch, where our drivers come to the window to get tickets, to drop off bills, any of those kinds of things, or just ask questions, that will still have a representative here 24/7. It'll be manned every day. It'll be manned after hours at night and on the weekends. So all that's going to continue. So if you're a driver here, that's still going to continue for you. If you need to see someone in safety, the safety office is going to stay right where it is in our east building. There'll be a representative from safety there every day if you need to talk with somebody about that. And we're going to utilize a lot of technology too. Sometimes you may be, talking with somebody over at M Circle, but we'll be able to get some video conferencing together, so it'll seem like, you're talking with them in a live way, even though they may not physically be right here. So we're going to look to technology to help us with some of that too. But you'll definitely have representatives from safety and operations here on the site. And of course, our shop is going to continue to maintain and work out of this facility. So that's going to stay the same for you as it has as it has in the past. So a lot of things changing, but for some of you, things staying the same. And by all means, for all of our drivers out there, there's going to be more communication about this move. I hope later this week you're actually going to see some things. We want your feedback on it. If you're worried about anything that's coming up, we want to hear from you, and we want the opportunity to hear those and make sure we have a plan to handle that. We think we do, and we just want to share that with you. We want to hear from you as well, what some of your concerns are, so that we can manage through that. So that's exciting, the move, but I know for some of you it might be a little unsettling in terms of it's different, certainly than the way it has been, but we think it's a positive change for the good.
Will be, more to follow. So with that being said, we're gonna have an all-employee meeting on August 25th at the new location in M Street. We should have everything in there so that we'll have plenty of room for everyone. So we'll follow up with what's going on that date, so lock that August 25th date in there.
Yep.
We're gonna share more on the budgets and the outlook for fiscal 2024. So more information will come, and don't forget, we're gonna give out gift cards by the end of July. We won't be waiting till August. So I've got those ordered. So with that being said, Rob, thank you. Jesse,
Congratulations, Al.
Thank you, Rob.
congratulations to all of you guys. We're still moving forward. We're gonna get those numbers we need for next fiscal year, but we'll share more of that budget here in August 25th. So with that being said, thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you to all.